SOW Ignition, and just before we went live, you guys saw there was a bit of an ongoing incident backstage. We'd like to take a moment, if we can, to cut into that incident right here. You can see what is currently happening. Kaito, along with the Saviors, have actually come to the aid of Aaron Payne backstage.
There's absolute chaos backstage, and it looks like it was started by Kevin Daniels, and for some reason, Manny Inigo. We'll have to keep an eye on what's happening back there, because you know Harris pissed.
And right from that, we lead directly into the first match of the night. This is a final match in or I should say, this is the final round of Swiss for our Spring World Tag 500. For those of you at home, you will be seeing the title belt on screen at the start of each of the matches here in the World Tag 500's final round Swiss. We'll also, of course, be showing it ahead of the title match, which will be set for Spring Carnival. However, one thing to note, this is not I don't want to say it's an unimportant match in the grand scheme of SOW, but it is not a pivotal match for the tournament, as the class, or the Bangers, I should say, have already solidified themselves a place in the finals.
On the opposite side of that, Bea and Aiko will be looking to the outside in, mathematically eliminated from getting that second finalist spot. So this match, not only is there, of course, an absolute ridiculous amount of history with all four women involved in this one, this is a matter of pride for both teams. The Bangers want to make history. The first Women's World Tag 500, they want to run the table, going undefeated, while Shining need to show that they are figuring things out as a team, knocking off the number one seed moving forward, and giving them some momentum for post-tournament.
All right, we're getting ready to get started. Charli and Aiko to lead us off here. One thing to note is that Shining's been faltering largely at the expense of Aiko. She's been the one taking the pins within the confines of this tournament. Or I shouldn't even say taking the pins, because their last loss had no pinfall result. It was instead a out finish.
Yep, blew our minds at the time. We couldn't not take away from the performance of both members of the Classics. It was an incredible match, but just not the kind of finish you really want to see in a tournament. But, you know, Aiko not one to lament on the past. She just immediately moving on, ready for her next match. They know they can't make it, like I said, but yeah, it's one of those things we talked about a bit last week too. It was like moving up into the tournament, whenever Shining would lose, it was Bea taking, you know, the L, so to speak. But once the tournament started, those roles reversed, and it's just one of those things we're seeing that these two are taking time to figure things out as a unit, and just, I will say, watch out Tag Division once they do.
As things currently stand, I would say that they are still an impressive team. I mean, it's hard not to be when you're the only two former Women's World Champions here at SOW. That is a title that has been hotly contested and very well overall defended, particularly in Aiko's historic nearly year-long reign.
Not to take any credit away from the inaugural Women's World Champion, Bea Quinn, who had an incredible first title run as well.
Did not run that way.
Look, there was a little bit of controversy involved, but you know.
I can't say she didn't defend that belt at Victory Lane in that Iron Man match, or Iron Woman match. It was an impressive title defense.
No, and actually argue that Bea has been more impressive post Women's World Championship. I mean, she had a pretty good season last season overall, despite losing the belt. And then, you know, beating Hera, taking her out of retirement for one night and sending her right back into the office. No easy feat, especially with the emotions that Hera had against Bea at that point in time after essentially Bea tormented her for 6 months.
And Hera did everything she could not to fire Bea during that period, and it ended with a match between the two. And from what I can tell, they seem to have settled the bad blood between them. Largely, Bea just really wanted that match.
Yeah, it's kind of seeming like one of those things where, I guess the kids call it rage baiting, right? You know, but Bea kind of got what she wanted, and then pretty much admitted that that was her whole goal. And they've kind of made amends, especially with Bea seemingly turning over a new leaf by teaming up with Aiko and the rest of Shining.
Yeah, it's been a very, I mean, I don't want to say hyper successful because if we're being completely honest, overall the Bangers as a stable has had more success than Shining as a stable. The Bangers have had multiple titles already within their time as a stable. And we have a guaranteed finish from the Bangers, which neither team from Shining can match. But
yeah, I feel like the stables are in very different places as well.
I was going to say, what it feels like is Bangers has been pushing the momentum non-stop. Charli had only a very short moment where she specifically, I mean, we'll just be honest, got completely and utterly trounced by Aiko.
Yeah.
It was, I think it was the second time we had a multi-fall match. I think we won 2 out of 3 falls. Aiko won both of them. The second fall was won with what is still considered one of the most insane moments in SOW history. The 30 glowing suplexes heard around the room. Charli hasn't let that deter her ever since she returned. She's been on fire and on top of everything that she's done. I mean, you see right there, immediately the counter busted Aiko open. Holy shit.
That was a rare moment. Aiko is not known. I mean, she got busted open the hard way.
Yeah, no, I think that literally just busted the nose. That punch was right on her schnoz. You see it hit the mask too from when she fell down.
Look at this! Look at this! The best SOW special! Nice follow-up attack from Bea and Aiko both as Bea laughed when Aiko came in. And of course, so much history between Bea and Charli. We could talk for the rest of the match at this point about how much history just these two women alone have on the opposing side.
This is a very mentor-student style relationship between the two of them, and Charli not really wanting to fight Bea much, it seems. Tags in.
It's kind of surprising, because Charli won their kind of best of 3 last year.
And maybe that's exactly why. She's like, I've already done it. I don't need to keep proving myself against you.
I would also argue it's not the same Bea Quinn that it was last fall.
Well, you'd have to argue that against Charli specifically. I'm not really here to say whether that is or is not the case. Not really my, outside of personality, it's not necessarily my place to determine where Bea's skill level goes. She hasn't really been in singles matches, you know, other than the Grand Prix, which didn't quite go her well. Wasn't bad, though. She got, I think, what was it, a 3-3 finish?
Yeah, she ended up on 500.
That's not bad. It's never bad. Like, there's, realistically, in the Grand Prix, getting a 500 finish is just expected, honestly. Only one person's probably going, or 2 people are probably going to do much better than that. Especially in the limited numbers of the women's outside. Speaking of the Grand Prix, there's going to be some Grand Prix qualifiers coming up after Spring Carnival. Get some guaranteed spots for the competitors for the start, which will come right after World Record.
Crazy to think it's almost time for that already. Well, look at this!
Ooh.
Huge drive-by drop kick.
Beautiful
From Bea.
Quinn. And yeah, we're almost in, it'll be a historic third men's Grand Prix here in SOW. The first one won by our inaugural world champion, Hermes Rhapsodes. The second one was won by one of our greatest world champions in the Dragon Slayer, Ryan Richardson, who won it as champion. Currently the only person to do that in SOW. And we're just going to be excited to see who the third Grand Prix winner for the men's
God.
is.
Oh no, that's
God.
danger. That's danger right there.
Into a moonsault.
Follow-up from Nephthys as well.
But can she capitalize? It looks like she might have landed poorly. She does get into the cover position.
It's not enough.
Bea just barely kicks out as Aiko comes up and prevents further follow-up on her. You can see Aiko was slowed down a lot by the bleeding.
Oh, wait a minute. Now look at this. Here it comes.
Oh, big kick.
Never mind. Big boot. I was thinking Sling Blade.
And she hit that Yakuza kick. Couldn't get much of a cover in. Charli was right there afterwards. Now Nephthys sends her to the other corner and gets the tag, clearly feeling the pressure.
Bea needs a tag here too.
Bea struggling up against both of her opponents. Goes for a roll.
Oh, look at the steal it.
Now Aiko working the arms of Charli.
This one will limit her opportunity to tag out right away, though. Charli, when both going to get back to their feet, Charli goes in the offensive. And Aiko's calling for it. Bea doesn't go for the tag.
Oh, Bea might be a little hot since she's in the ring with Charli right now.
And her emotions could be getting the better of her.
And Charli's taking advantage here, keeping the pressure on. Neck lock applied. Nephthys stepping in, but Aiko does not follow suit. She trusts Bea will not be tapping out to a neck lock. Oh, but the God's last gift has beaten Bea before him. Did Nephthys just not try to stop that at all?
It kind of looked like it. And there's the 20-minute call for this opening match here on Ignition.
This has been a long opener, a very back and forth competition so far. Now it's Charli who seems to be getting isolated by Shining. Arm breaker. Bea picks her up. And Aiko with another arm breaker. She's looking to wrap it up with the Shining limb lock. Will Charli tap? No. That was a great setup combination from Bea and Aiko, but Charli able to wrestle her way out of the hole. Into a Northern Lights suplex.
Been a very interesting use, to say the least, of cut play in this tag match tonight.
I think Shining at this point is out. And it's likely the last of the bangers as well. Oh,
there we go, but...
And Aiko takes the moment, slip behind. It's a heavy elbow to the back of Charli's head. Gets behind her.
Bang!
Huge glowing suplex. And is trying to make her tap again. Aiko might be feeling a little lightheaded, doesn't want to try to risk the bridge on the suplex for the finale. But that costs us a little bit as Charli lands that hammer-locked body slam.
All Bea can do is watch. Looks like they,
I think Charli might have been wanting the super video kill. Nephthys fights off the glowing suplex. Aiko flips through and lands on her feet.
Now a strike exchange clean in the center of the ring. Now remember, if we hit a time limit draw, technically the Bangers still have no losses in the tournament, but it will not be a it's impossible to be a perfect record for them.
Oh, nice counter from Aiko into the Stardust trigger. But again, the blood loss has worn Aiko down! Tame the Nile!
This could be huge! A pin over the #1 contender for the world title!
Oh!
No!
Aiko
What a
survives!
kick out!
Into a Northern Lights suplex. Can she get it here? No. Aiko forces her off. Slips behind.
Oh, look at this!
Dumps her. Aiko sending her off the ropes. Slips behind again. Starting up. A stampede.
Here it comes. 3!
Pulls her away from the ropes. And Aiko, she can't get the energy together to pull up for the finale. But she catches her, wrist is locked, Stardust Exploder! We don't see that one very often anymore. Aiko goes for the double leg hook, and she gets it.
Huge performance by Aiko tonight, and they officially ruined the Bangers' perfect World Tag 500, and possibly their momentum in the spring carnival.
We'll have to see. Moving along after that opening match, the results for the World Tag 500 currently shining 2-2, Bangers 3-1.
Kind of funny in a way. We talked about Bea going 500 in the Grand Prix, and then in the World Tag 500, Bea Quinn goes 500.
Yeah, it is poetic.
But also, it looks like the tag division, the backstage scene, things are getting busy there, where it looks like we have a World Tag Team title match possibly set up for Spring Carnival.
And we have a lot of outside tag teams starting to come in a little more often. We have Legend of Heart behind here, making their tag debut here in SOW. And now we have, what's up here? Los Diablos Imperdonables. And they seem to be wanting to take on the Saviors in a tag pool match for the World Tag Team titles. It's been incredible. What I can see, that's it's on the docket.
Yep, it has been made official, but we also have to make note that it sounds like Disruption has called their shots, possibly the winners at World Records.
We'll have to see just how that goes. Disruption can maintain that top ranking spot. They should get their rematch at that date.
Now we'll shift focus here to this singles rankings match. It's been interesting seeing members of Moment for Life wrestling all these singles matches lately.
Oh yeah, I mean, Dallas Handler was specifically called out, but Bray Windham, it almost feels like they might be thinking of a shift soon. Bray and Dallas have been a team for quite some time, but the single success of ZC Woods, while he's actually been on fire in this second half, this first half, I should say, of season 3. What is his record right now? 6-0.
Let me see. He is 6-0. Yes, he is.
Yeah, that is impressive as hell. I think that might be the best singles record we have here in season 3 so far. Even our world champion Byron is currently 3-0. And he's not going to be wrestling anytime soon. He's already made it clear that the next title defense will be at world record.
The closest to ZC is probably Kaito, 5-0-1.
Yeah, that is pretty much right there. In fact, they've had a bit of a history that Kaito essentially has beaten ZC Woods every single time they've matched up. Oh, toss!
He gets that crashing to the outside. And just, you know, we haven't heard any updates since Caster called out the house. They've not responded to these allegations that Tony Lee may be associated with their group.
Well, that was Damien who had made that specific.
Oh, right, sorry, Damien.
But yeah, I mean, he defeated Dallas Taylor, and Moment for Life has had no comment. Instead, Bray signed up for this singles match.
It's just, silence is, you know, I don't want to say it speaks volumes, but definitely has caught the eyes of the locker room. Right now, Steve looking to take this match and get back to a 500 record himself, currently sitting at 2-3. And it's no secret that he wants championship gold around the waist of all members of Disruption, with Nathan and Kerry going for the tag titles. So you have to imagine Steve still thinking about that national championship.
I mean, there is a lot of people who want that belt for many reasons. I think there's still some out there who look at it as a championship just to hold, which is kind of what it seemed like Hermes was doing with it. I mean, he wasn't really rushing the title defenses, so I guess when your stable leader is the world champion, you're not that worried about the title shot. But I can't imagine Steve Levy would be looking at that belt as anything other than a ticket to the world title.
Oh, for sure. Cuts off Bray there. Fights his way out of the corner.
Nice side slam. Big chop. And another sidewalk slam.
Hey, he's hit a few of those here in this match, trying to send a message, but it's a very interesting use of the same movement. Now, look at this! Turnabout's fair play.
Sidewalk slam from Bray as well. Hip toss. Goes for another. It's blocked, so he ends in an arm drag instead. Bray's bringing him to the top rope.
A big counter here, and he follows up with a leg drop, dude.
From the top rope. That's Matt Hardy style.
I would never do that.
Yeah, it's because Hulk Hogan sucked.
Oh, back to the top!
Elbow drop!
Ooh, yeah.
Now that's a wrestler I can get behind. It's about to be real. No, we're not. I wish.
Oh, no! Bray landed awkwardly there. But Steve follows through. Holds on.
It looks like
they may be okay.
Yeah, it looks like things are still going well.
Oh, God! Surprise
Jesus.
now. Steve's not seeing stars.
Oh, my God. Just back and forth. Yeah, another bulldog, this time from Steve.
He keeps holding his face. I wonder if he just dislodged a tooth or something there. He landed awkwardly on his face a few moments ago. And now look at this! He's gonna rip a tooth back out of Steve's mouth!
The mandible claw. And Steve goes out.
Yes, Steve is out. Wow, what an impressive victory for Bray, and Steve back to the drawing board here.
Okay, so it does seem like Bray is going to be fine. They're going to have him take from what I was told, short 2-week break to recover. It seems like whatever happened in that match was a minor injury. But he was not only, despite that, able to fight through the pain and claim a victory. We also have some other news coming out of the house. CC Woods has made the response and has called out Oxley directly. So I believe that is already on the docket. We're going to see that on Spring Carnival.
I mean, we talked about how ZC Woods is on a tear, and now Damien Oxley looks to be possibly his next victim, or he could shock the system, so to speak, and pick up a huge victory over ZC Woods. But now shifting gears back to World Tag 500, it's our second match of the night. That is for Pride.
This one is entirely the Shogun needs to get a win to get on the board. If they lose in this match, they will be an 0-4 finish in this World Tag 500. Which, given how they started out in the last season, would be a massive drop-off for them. They had 3 wins early on in the season. They were looking to be one of our breakouts, but this tournament has not gone their way.
Not at all. Well, you say the same thing for their opponent. The Rising Stars were going into this tournament. They're one of the top-ranked teams, and they're, again, just like the other members of Shining, they're on the outside looking in. Just some key losses has them not competing for the tag titles, at least not the inaugural reign.
Absolutely, and what we're going to see tonight is if the Rising Stars claim a win, they join their stablemate Shining in a 500 finish. And they lock out Shogunate having any victories, which essentially makes the Shogunate the lowest, or one of the lowest rated teams here in this season of SOW. If they lose this match, they will be on a 3-5 record, and the bonuses, keep in mind, all wipe away at the conclusion of these Swiss rounds.
And we'll see what the actual rankings for the division look like once the dust settles after tonight's show.
The Rising Stars are currently sitting at the technical top, but that's with a 4-point bonus, boosting their overall ranking. And given they will not be the first champions, no matter what, it's not looking great for either of the teams at the moment if they were to lose this match.
about earlier tonight, we did see Charli and Nephthys, the Bangers, take their first loss as a tag team. It's a big moment as well.
Absolutely crazy. Now 6-1. I'm not sure what to expect in this matchup we have going on right now. I mean, we saw how much of a war the Bangers and Shining went to. Can the Rising Stars deliver a match on the same scale, or will the Shogunate be able to finally utilize the technique that we've seen from them up before this tournament and secure a victory? There's one thing to note about the Shogunate is they not only have history in the same stable back in JTW, they also both utilize a similar finishing move with the half crab. So they both do the same leg work, the same half crab submission, which means that you are never safe, no matter which one of them is in the ring.
Ooh. Now some tag team moves here coming from the Rising Stars off the ropes.
Picks her up, drops her with a body slam.
I thought she was going for a tag there, but changed her mind, gets baited back towards Keiko.
Keiko with a snap of the arm. One other thing to keep in mind is Keiko does have that bridging hammer lock, which she picked up from High Yun way back when they were in the same stable together. Both women utilize that technique. It's a very complicated, well, I should say it looks simple, but it's a very complicated submission to set up because you've got to get the hammer lock in and then flip over into a bridge while holding the hammer lock the whole time. Jesus Christ!
Good Lord! Now the action goes to the outside of the ring.
Oh, Enziguri, you hear the clap. Step up, Enziguri, right after another clap.
Now up to a 6 count. Pushing it back in the ring, tags.
That's going to reset the count.
Yeah, it will, but now both members of the Rising Stars. Keiko currently on an island outside the ring on their side. He's having to fight them both off. She's succeeded.
Nishi slips back in the ring. Keiko is
back up to a 6.
Gets to a 7 before she slips back in.
That was an extended amount of time on the outside of the ring. It's actually really impressive that she was able to recover. Now gets a much-needed tag.
Now Cosme in a bad position here. Caught in a triangle choke.
10 minutes gone.
10 minutes in this match. No play is now available.
Oh my God, look at this! Oh!
Backdrop.
Well, Kazumi's no longer in a bad position.
Oh, that'll even up the damage. And dodges and kicks the knees out from Ayama. And a drop kick to the chin.
Ayama trying to fight back into it, but Kazumi staying on the offensive here, standing moonsault.
There we go. Two former JTW wrestlers. Of course, Cosme has made her name more here in SOW at this point.
Fighting off both members again and now taken down to the mat, wrenching back on the neck and head. Keiko gets in the ring. I don't think that counts as a cut play in a particular corner, right?
I have no idea.
That's probably that could be ref's discretion. But man, if that gets counted against him, that's a huge waste of one there.
Oh, Kazumi has her lined up.
Keiko not too busted on the outside.
But Ayama gets up first. And Kazumi says, fine, go to the outside. Now she's got her lined up and looking to fly. Missile drop kick, springboard style to the outside. Ayama's fighting her off.
6.
Kazumi back into the ring. Ayama follows suit.
Interesting strategy for the Rising Stars in this match. They've taken the action to the outside multiple times. But that's not a strategy I would expect to see from them. And now that's definitely a waste of a cut play there by Keiko. So she has to take advantage of it with a big senton. But
rolling elbow. Tries to get her up for that butterfly suplex, but she can't. Now it's Ayama fighting the entirety of Rising Stars, gets hit with a code breaker into the cover. That's cut play potentially number 3 there from Keiko. However, she's making use of it again to inflict damage now, targeting the leg of Kimiko. Lifts her up and drops her with a gourd buster. Oh, catches her with a butterfly suplex. She was looking for it on Kazumi earlier, couldn't hit it, but managed to hit it here on Kimiko.
Kimiko trying to take back some of that momentum. Starts a strike exchange. I don't know about that. Unless she wins it, I guess it'll work out.
I mean, it's dangerous against Ayama. She's very well known for her shoot style. Fake out into the slap, but it's not enough. The spinning heel kick takes her to lights out zone. Ayama not going for the cover and saying
code breaker out of nowhere.
And now it's Kimiko not going for the cover right away. Might have felt she didn't get enough off of that code breaker, wanting to get a little more pressure, but now the crab again. Blocking the ropes does Ayama, but it wasn't enough to make Kimiko tap. And you'll notice Kazumi did not come in. She was trusting Kimiko would not tap out to that crab.
No, it's a W special.
Now,
into that single leg crab. Here comes Kazumi. It doesn't matter. She didn't even get an opportunity.
Kimiko tapped so fast there.
Wow. That's got to be disappointing for Kazumi for sure. I mean,
we spoke about Hermes a little bit ago. He was, as everybody knows, the inaugural SOW World Heavyweight Champion. And he just recently lost the National Heavyweight title and the Junior Heavyweight title of the WWSL, which is the governing body for JEPW. So
and now, very interesting to note that Hermes is coming out here for a promo after we have confirmation that everyone involved in that brawl, or at least the start of that brawl, has been sent home. So no Aaron Payne to interrupt Hermes tonight after Hermes no-showed that match last week.
Yeah, that was, you know, it's hard to understand what's been going through Hermes' mind overall. He's clearly ducking Aaron, though. I think that much is obvious at this point.
Yeah, which just feels. I mean, I know he's not the Hermes we once knew, but man, it just. I would never have believed that Hermes would ever avoid an opponent, even this new, nastier, cockier version of him.
The only thing I can say is the last time Hermes and Aaron met, back at Straightaway, it was once again Hermes coming out with the win. Perhaps in his mind, he's thinking, this beef is done, I don't need to fight. Of course, Aaron would never think that way, and I personally think that that win alone isn't enough because it had been too long since the last time they had it.
I agree.
As far as I'm concerned, personally speaking, this is a 1-0 feeding at the moment. Some excuses, shockingly as well. It's not something Hermes is normally known for, making excuses.
Ironically, he claims he's not sitting around and whining as he sits around and whines.
Yeah, I mean, some people, especially this current Hermes, there's a little bit of delusion that sits in their heads.
Oh, a change in plans? What in the world could he be referring to here?
I mean, there was that weird tag that he had with that camp. Maybe it's something related to that.
You may have hit the nail on the head. The Paradise is forming a second tag team with Death Panther and Hermes Rhapsodes.
That's not terrifying at all. That'll be a perfectly standard tag team. Our first ever world champion and one of the scariest men in professional wrestling.
And one of the slimiest men, too.
Yeah, that's also true. Well, it sounds like Clint and Trent are also going to be getting back into proper singles action now. Clint doesn't have a very good record at the moment.
Okay, just to play devil's advocate here, when you're not a champion,
all right. Well, we now know that the Paradise is going to be sending in a second tag team to try and bring back those tag titles. And
screams desperation.
well, if Death Bros failed twice now, I mean, they failed to retain the belts in the first place in World Tag 500, and now they have failed to win back the belts in a subsequent title match, so it makes sense to try and find a different setup to go get those belts back into your stable. However, it does leave the question of the other stable who wants to try and take over NXT. They also have two teams, and their leader just entered the ring for this upcoming match against Lars Stanley. How is the Empire going to respond now to the Paradise? Because they've already set up a against Overtake.
It definitely puts them in an interesting spot, and you know that Caster was listening to that promo with an eyebrow raise that essentially the Paradise is stealing his idea. But now this is a match with a bit of history as well to kind of talk about the two men in the ring. Of course, Mars, the first ever national champion, and Caster, the man who very quickly took that belt away from him.
And Mars had one single title defense before Caster took the belt and held it for currently still both the longest reign and most defenses for the national title. 7 defenses, one more than the required 6, and 238 days, Jim.
Caster, very famously, the only national champion who cared about it as a championship and not as a, as we referred to it earlier in the night, kind of like a fast pass, a ticket to the World Heavyweight Championship.
Absolutely. As it stands, it's also just in general SOW's second longest title reign. The longest, of course, going to Aiko for 357 days as Women's World Champion.
These two men both have so much power, but they can both get down on the mat as well. We've seen it from Mars a couple times where he'll surprise us with his technical wrestling ability, and of course Caster has that just in droves.
Absolutely.
But this is not like an easy curb stomp victory for Caster for people who have only seen Mars as a part of meet. Mars is a very, very powerful and competitive singles wrestler as well, with a lot of success before SOW.
Well, the main thing that has always been on Mars No More's negative side, like you were to put up all the cons and pros, or all of the successes and all of the things he still has left to do in the industry. One of the only things in the second box, in the bucket list, as you might say, is win a world title. But Caster is in that same position. Never held a world championship in a major company.
Caster tried earlier this year, unsuccessful in his challenge against Byron Mitchell. And since then, been kind of on the back foot. The Empire as a whole kind of on the back foot. They almost lost their war with Disruption, and now they've started a new war with the House of Troubles.
And then the shining bright spot in the Empire at the moment is Alexei Zakar's television championship reign. Currently 150 days. Or, sorry, 154 days.
And of course, you know, Caster is taking credit for a lot of that success, having trained Alexei for these last couple of years in SOW.
We got Alexei built, bulked up, and got a title win from him. I have been told, by the way, as a quick update for Ignition 93, there will be a television championship match Alexei will be defending against, well, I mean, speaking of the Paradise and the Empire, Trent Taylor. This will mark Alexei's 5th title defense.
Big strike from Mars there, by the way, sent Caster to the mat, and he's following up with some vicious strikes. And now look at this!
Oh, the power of the War Machine. Caster with the takedown, Mars with the counter, slips behind, picks him up. Oh my God! What a suplex. And then right back in for a second cover, but Caster kicks out right away. Mars, oh, whoa!
Look at this!
Holy
Wow!
hole.
But Caster gets out of that. I don't know how he pulled that off.
And Caster was very quick to wrench the grip. I mean, big man, so it's hard to maintain a specifically complicated hold like that very easily.
Give up.
And that was impressive. I thought he was going STF, and he started that way, only to turn it around.
Oh my God!
Turnbuckle German.
Almost an exploder style, then straight into a Boston Crab.
That elevated crab that he has made many people tap out to before. And not tonight! Mars lifts him up!
Oh my God!
Full salvo!
Mars looking to get revenge, but not going for the pin. He must know that's not enough.
10 minutes gone.
It's 10 minutes into this match. I'm going to be honest with how big they're going.
Oh,
I can't
God.
imagine.
Oh, God,
it
look at this!
lasting
Buckle
much
bomb
longer.
from Caster Lincoln! And now he's not going for the cover either. He knows that's not enough. Single leg grab. We've seen success from that move tonight.
Here in this match, he picks Mars up. German
Oh my
suplex
God.
deadlift into a perfect bridge. Mars, he tried to hold the back grapple, but Mars the counter rolls him over, head and neck, or head and arm trapped.
That's all in those ropes. Back to the single leg crab. Mars moving slow, but he should make the ropes here. Cash actually lets it go before the fall.
Doesn't want to get him the free
Oh!
pressure as he lands a vicious headbutt. Series of stomps, drops the knee. And now with the back breaker, his bear hug. He's really just wearing out Mars' name.
Look at this!
Here. Submission chaining.
So many ways that Casher can beat you. And notice that he is letting those submissions go right before Mars would get a rope break.
Oh,
Mars has
wait
a
a
John.
minute.
Look at this! Oh my God! Second one!
But
But
he's
the
been
damage
worn
is taking
down.
its toll, perhaps. A very late cover.
It's the 2, but not the 3. Caster kicks out. However, he was down for a significant period there. I think if he takes another big move from Mars like that, this could be the end of the match. Joseph Caster!
Oh, look at this!
Tenkamuso!
But Mars is down still. He finally gets to his feet.
And he knows that it's not going to do it when it takes that much time to get back into a cover. When Caster measured out the time perfectly with the counter abdominal stretch.
And Caster looking to slow things back down to his pace.
Oh, and he's lining it up.
Oh,
got the arm, got the leg.
He got it.
That's
And
it.
Mars has to tap, no choice. What a match, what a
Caster
win for
is
Caster.
not
And he
let
has not
go.
let go.
Oh my God! Somebody get that break. We gotta get security in here. Somebody break this up. Caster's gonna tear his arm and leg off. It is main event time here on Ignition. It is the last match of the Swiss rounds of the Women's World Tag 500, the Spring World Tag 500. And it is a big one, because the winner of this match will be joining Charli and Nephthys in the finals of Spring Carnival. Women's World
Pick your
Tag
winner right
titles.
now. Who's it going to be?
Um,
Put you on the spot. Put you on the spot. What's your prediction?
all right, I'm just gonna say it. Cat Roberts killed Aiko. I think Cat can do this. Cat and Cameron have been incredibly in tune with each other in this tournament so far. And Waldo and Dashko have that history. I don't think any team has had the chemistry the Classics has had in this tournament. I think they've got it. We're looking at double arm pump, same time, exactly.
Right. I mean, talk about it doesn't get much more instinct than that. But yeah, the Classics have kind of emerged as a dark horse favorite here. I mean, obviously this is a win-you're-in match, but to be honest with you, when this World Tag 500 started, I did not give them the credit that they have clearly deserved. I thought they were going to be walked all over in this tournament.
Well, their record before the tournament wasn't looking great. They were, I believe, 2 and 3 going into the tournament. Yeah, looking at their current record right now, that is exactly what it would be. It's 2 and 3. So I can't say I'm too shocked. I mean, the Shining haven't done pretty well overall, especially in the routine. The Bangers being undefeated. Even the Corpse Gals are 4 and 2. And you would have thought this would be a straight up easy win for the majority of the teams in the tournament. But the Classics have been pulling it out. They beat Aiko and Bea. They beat the Shogunate as well, I believe. Yes. The only team they lost to were the current finalists in Charli and Nephthys.
But here we go. I mean, this is probably the biggest single match of the tournament, you have to say, right? Aside from when we exit Swiss, and obviously the titles are on the line.
Yeah, I would say that this is probably the match to have looked forward to all night tonight. As Dollar Nagels gets a little dance up now.
I mean, the Doe and Dashko, they're going to have to reach down deep here. I mean, the Classics coming off of that huge victory where Kimura Aiko destroyed on the outside of the ring, count victory over Shining, sets them up for this match. Doe and Dashko like to do their idle antics a lot, and I just feel like the Classics aren't going to have much tolerance for that kind of nonsense here in such a big spotlight match for them.
I would agree. I would also keep in mind that even though I like to hype up Cat Roberts because that DDT is absolutely devastating, do not think that takes anything away from him. Stuff. This is one of the best technical wrestlers in our women's division, and she is in her very early 20s. This is a young and talented wrestler who could easily be our next Aiko if she would continue on the growth progression she's been on so far. At least in, the sense of extremely successful, talented, technical wrestler. As much as a lot of people like to claim Kazumi is the future Aiko, Kazumi isn't really a technician, she's a striker.
I agree with that.
Of course, when it comes to the Classics, while Cameron is the technical leader, nobody can brawl like Cat Roberts can brawl. She may not have as much power as someone like Daya, but she has all the brawling tactics down to a T. That's part of what makes the Classics such a perfect combination. You've got Cameron who can wrestle with the best of them. And then when you need the power and the brutality to be brought in, you've got Cat Roberts coming in with that crazy powerful DDT.
5 minutes gone.
And here we go with a clean instant tag. Immediately into a double team SOW special. And now Cat Roberts sounding off with the 10 blows in the corner.
She's feeling good.
Russian leg sweep sends Dashko's head right into that turnbuckle and just stomps on her face.
And she said, that's enough of that. But Dashko's too busy posing on the outside. Oh, Doe was too busy posing on the outside. And Dashko now forced to stay in the match longer than she wanted.
It's dropped down into the center, knee to the back of the head, picked up, and suplexed over into the Classics corner. She's gonna
That's
have
like
to
I
fight her
alluded
way out
to.
of
Those
this.
shenanigans could end up putting Doe and Dashko in very bad spots. Looking at Dashko finally going to get her tag now, but had to take more punishment than she wanted. It looks like it's some revenge here on the outside.
This is dangerous, though. I mean, if you get DDT out there, that could take you out of the match.
She's just kind of rolling around with her here,
She's trying to
driving up the count.
It almost feels like, I was going to say for a moment that she was wasting time. Trying to wear Cat out before Cat got back in the ring against Doe. Doe actually able, because of the time that Cat had spent getting rolled around, able to win that strike exchange there. Oh, and Cat with a quick spinning toe hold. And now it's Doe getting the 10 punches in the corner.
Oh boy.
Oh, but a counter into a head scissors. Tries to kick her Pat manages to avoid the kick, gets hit with a standing moonsault, but kicks out frame one.
Gets the tag in too. I think really good timing for that.
Side
Not
one
desperate
slam.
for it, but definitely could use the rest here.
And Pat perfectly sets up Doe there for Cameron.
I believe it was a 10-minute call just now too, so I believe cut play now can come into effect
Oh!
here.
My God, did you just see that?
She just got right up.
Do-Ha-Yoon transitioned that bulldog right into a cutter, but Cameron caught herself on the mat and popped back up. And Doe can barely get more than a second on these covers. Can't even keep Kat down. She's going for the scariest moonsault
Oh my
ever.
God.
Will this hold her down? 1, 2, not even a 2.9.
No cut play used by either side. Almost both sides confident that it wasn't necessary, which is an insane thing to think about in a spot like this.
Well, with Pat, you had to be sure that she knew this was not going to be enough to take out her partner Cameron, but for Dashko specifically to not come in, she had to be watching Pat like a hawk. Or maybe she just realized they're so deep in the Classics corner with that move, there's no way she could protect that hold, so she doesn't bother. Oh my God! Cameron Stone working like a beast here against Doe. And once again, neither side bothering with the cut play on any of these holds.
Very surprising to see.
They're saving it very deep into this match. There's a tag to Dashko. Here comes Doe again with another airplane spin. Last time she dizzied herself, and once again, she doesn't matter this time because she's not a legal woman. Let's see if that dizzying of Cameron allows Dashko to win this exchange. In fact, it does.
It does. And now see if Dashko can follow up here.
Catches her. Doe caught in the corner, but a one only. Dashko kicks out right away.
Now both sides not getting any 2 counts. No threat of a near fall.
And Cameron, realizing she's taking too much punishment, tags to her partner. You can see Cameron's worn out.
Yeah.
But it was smart because there is the neon butterfly suplex. That could have ended the match if she was that tired and stayed in the ring.
Though she needs to, now Kat really needs to play some defense here as well, or some really strong offense, because Cameron does need a moment to recover. But she can't afford to be put in a pinning position where cut play will have to be used. Looks like once again, both sides saving this cut play for the end of the match. I'm not against the idea, for the record.
No, this
I think
has
it's very smart.
been very smart patience on the cut play. As Kat Roberts goes up top.
Look at this.
Oh!
Oh, anti-air from Dashko. Both women down. Both taking a moment to recover. Kat gets up first. And catches her.
Nice arm wrench suplex into a cover. Hip up DDT.
Both are inspiring Kat to bring out the DDTs.
Apron. And
Look at
DDTs her on the apron. Holy shit.
And Dashko is in trouble out here. She needs to get back in the ring. She's already taking one DDT onto the ring apron.
Sends Kat into the ring as well. Dashko's doing her best to keep fighting. Spine buster from Kat Roberts. Sends Dashko to the corner. And is now looking to set her up top. Are we seeing superplex possibly? Oh my God!
Oh
no!
God!
Belly to belly from the top!
Dashko is dazed. But now, I think, oh no! Come on! Oh, wow, I'm very shocked possibly an almost uncharacteristic mistake by Kat Roberts allowing that tag to happen, because she could have easily blocked it while Doe was dancing.
I don't think Kat wants to win just because her opponents are taunting her. Maybe she thought it was bait.
But she had no problem taking a count-out victory, so I don't know how true that could be. He tags back out though.
Oh, caught her with the DDT! And now Cameron gets the ankle lock in! Can Do Hyun survive this? Just barely. And now it's her time, arm bar. Moonsault, there's the first cut play of the match. Almost, we've got to be over 20 minutes at this point. First cut play of the match being used.
Also means this match can go off the rails really quickly for one side or the other.
Oh, cut play used
I imagine
by one side, by the Corpse Gals, but not by the Classics, because Kat just knows that armbar was not going to be enough. DDT
oh, look at
from Cameron into an immediate cover.
Just unfortunate that it was more on the Corpse Doll side of the ring.
Oh, came in! And that is in the right corner. Cam Roberts makes the cutoff, but only a 2.9. And there's some chaos going on in this ring right now. Strike exchange here. This is a big and very important exchange. Drop kick. Cameron wins it. Locks up the legs. Sharpshooter. She taps.
She taps.
The Classics are going to the finals.
The dark horses of the World Tag 500, the Classics, are officially going to Spring Carnival. What a tournament for them.
Oh my God. They started off rough with a first round loss and then won every single match after that. And I mean, what an emphatic finish there. Cameron wins the strike exchange and immediately locks in the sharpshooter. Well, folks, that is all we have for tonight. We will see you this Saturday for Spring Carnival 2026. Let's quickly run down the card because it is in completion. We have opening the World Tag Team Championships, Lucha Tag Rules, Los Diablos Imperdonables versus Destined Saviors. Then the National Championship on the line as El Rey de Guerra looks to win back the belt he once held, this time from Tony Lee. We have Damian Oxley versus ZC Woods, and made official not long ago, it will be Kaito Meiji and Pain is Unbreakable taking on Manny Inigo and Death Row. We also have a world title opportunity, Death Panther taking on Ryan Richardson. If Ryan wins, he will join a fatal four-way for the world title at World Record. And last but not least, the Classics take on the Bangers for the Women's World Tag Team Championships to decide who our first champions will be. That is all. Yes, indeed. That is all we have. So as always, I am your lead analyst, Devil D, here with my commentating partner,
MD Punk.
and we will see you this Saturday.